Documentary filmmaker Ken Burns recently spoke in Dallas at the George W. Bush Presidential Center, talking about his new series on the Revolutionary War, tied to the country's 250th anniversary. I spoke to Burns and his colleague historian Rick Atkinson about how we should think about the Revolution today and our place in American history. How unique and chaotic is the time that we're in right now compared to these other periods you study?
It's not as divided right now. But it's unprecedented in terms of the kind of assaults on institutions and kind of government norms and things that both parties always sort of accepted as the given. And I think getting outside of those guardrails have made the situation seem more anxious. And that I think that part of what's good about going back into the revolutionary period and understanding just how fragile the possibilities of creating a nation were. We tend to be incredibly narcissistic of our present moment. Oh, this is the best, this is the worst, oh, the sky is falling.
The condescension of posterity.
Yes, and this arrogance that develops that somehow because they came before us, that somehow we know more than them. With regard to the founding group of people, not true.
How should people stay grounded in a time of change when we may be changing into a different thing?
The poet and Librarian of Congress, Archibald MacLeish, said that democracy is never a thing done. It's something that a people must always be doing, and it's something we've got to be doing. It's not a spectator sport. It doesn't work if you're not participating. So that's how you stay grounded. You recognize that you've got a big stake, local, state, national levels. That your children and your grandchildren have a big stake, and you get involved, and you don't have to do it in an overtly partisan way, but you got to be involved in some significant way because it's a very fragile thing, as Ken says.
This work is about the founding of the American nation. Do you think we need some nation building here at home, and how do you even get that process started?
We've migrated away, not just in a sort of large, our schools don't teach civics, we can blame it all here or there. Moment to moment, we've lost a connection and a relationship to where we've been. So we're disconnected in another way from where we are, and therefore can't make a single decision about where we're going. So part of this sort of repair and restoration that has to take place takes place on an individual level, and it takes place obviously in a national level and all the levels in between, but has to do with redisciplining our attention. I mean, the most amazing thing about the founders, when they said pursuit of happiness, this was not the pursuit of money in a marketplace of objects. This was lifelong learning in a marketplace of ideas. If you did that, you might then bring to yourself more virtue. And if you had more virtue, you would then be eligible for the rewards of citizenship, which was, as Rick is saying, a very active thing. It is not a passive bystander sport. It is actually engaged. And whether it's in your local school or running for a local office or on a national level, it's the same thing.
What do you think are the American values that have been with us through our entire history that we need to go back, as you said, to kind of reconnect with?
They're all there. It's all there. Life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, freedom, self-government, no establishment of a religion, freedom of the press, right to address your grievances and complain. All of that is sort of baked into our system. And I think when it feels wobbly, it's because we're either manipulating in a sort of in a bad way some of these things, or we've neglected them entirely.
Commitment to a cause larger than yourself, that's a pretty vital thing. And I think every generation, every individual needs to reaffirm that there are things bigger than you, and you need to commit to it somehow.
What do you think it means to be a patriot in 2026?
Well, I think a patriot today in 2026 is someone who is committed to the basic principles of the country. The principles, as Ken eloquently laid out, and they include life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. They include the ability to be an individual. They include commitment to a larger cause than yourself. That's patriotism. you know, it's a big tent. You can be a patriot and not share the political beliefs of somebody else who is no less a patriot than you are.
Fascinating, man. First of all, I love the documentary. You saw it, right?
I did.
I love it.
I'm a nerd.
Yeah, it was awesome. But look, this country, what, 250? We're a young country, right? And it is worrisome that the schools aren't teaching civics anymore. That came up in your interview. That struck me there. I mean, we need to get back to learning about what this country is all about and how it works. But also, we're still struggling, I think, with what it means to be an American, how to apply that to everybody, across demographics, for everybody, especially given our history and what happened back in the day. What do you think?
I think the big takeaway from them is to get involved, right? I mean, if there's a lot going on that can stress a lot of people out, and action, I think, will solve that anxiety, right? If you feel like you need to do something, you should do it. You know, but everybody's kind of on their phones or say, oh, our leaders will handle it, when, as we know, normal people getting involved in the process can make a huge difference.
Technology and social media has changed the landscape so much, but you're right, we got to get back to that.